Medusa, maiden, monster, or a myth? Listen, and do not blink. This is the truth behind the face that turns men into stone. Medusa, a name that echoes through centuries. Long before the snakes, there was innocence, not a monster, a mortal, unique among the fearsome Gorgons. Her sisters, Stheno and Euryale, were immortal. She alone could die. Some say the Gorgons were always terrifying, fangs, claws, wings, but others, later, whisper that Medusa was once a beautiful maiden, admired for her hair and beautiful eyes. She devoted herself to the goddess of purity, Athena. But beauty in the world of gods is both a blessing and a curse. In the sacred halls of Athena, goddess of wisdom, war, and the inviolate temple, Poseidon, lord of the sea, set his eyes upon Medusa and took what was not his. What followed was an act of violence, a desecration in the very heart of the goddess's sanctuary. Athena's wrath was swift, but not upon Poseidon. The punishment fell upon Medusa. Her shining hair writhed into serpents. Her gaze hardened into a weapon. One look, and flesh remembered the stillness of stone. From victim, she was made into a monster. Exiled to the world's ragged edge, Medusa learned to live with silence. No friends, only the hiss of serpents and the statues of men who came to kill her. Far away, a different story began. On the island of Seriphos, a scheming king named Polydectes coveted a woman named Danae. Her son, Perseus, stood in his way. So, the king smiled and set an impossible task. Bring me the head of Medusa. Perseus prayed, and the gods answered. Athena, with a shield polished bright as a mirror, Hermes with winged sandals and a curved blade of adamant, and the helm of Hades to pass unseen. But even with divine steel, how do you find a nightmare? Perseus hunted the Grey sisters who shared one eye and one tooth. He snatched their single sight from the air and would not return it until they revealed the path to the nymphs who kept the hero's last gift, the kibisis, a sacred bag to carry the head that must never be looked upon. At the edge of the world where the ocean breathes in caves, Medusa slept among stone men who once were hunters. Perseus did not dare meet her eyes. He raised Athena's mirror shield, walking backwards through his reflection, step by step, breath by breath, until her sleeping face filled the shining circle. One heartbeat, one stroke, and Medusa was killed. Silence. Then the sudden rustle of snakes falling still. From Medusa's severed neck, life burst forth. Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysar, the warrior with the golden blade. Creation from ruin. Power, even in death. Perseus hid the head in the kibisis and fled, the air roaring under winged sandals. On his way home, he would turn monsters aside, unmask treachery, and free a princess. But the face in the bag remained the sharpest blade of all. He returned to Seriphos to find Polydectes pressing Danae once more. Perseus said nothing. He lifted the head, averting his own eyes, and the court froze where it stood, cruelty captured forever in stone. Then he set a kinder man, Dictys, upon the throne. The weapons went back to the gods, and the Gorgon's head he gave to Athena, who set it upon her aegis, the shield that bears terror to her enemies. So who was Medusa? A monster to some, a survivor to others. In older Greek tellings, she is a horror from the beginning. In Ovid's later verse, she is a maiden transformed by the crime of a god and the fury of a goddess. Two mirrors, one face. Perhaps that is why she endures. As a warning carved on shields, as a symbol worn in defiance, as the question that will not die. Who gets called a monster? And who gets to tell the story? Remember her like this? Not only as the glare that turns hearts to stone, but as the voice beneath the serpents, the voice that was never asked to speak.